Dr. Schilling.
Hello, Uri. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today. On behalf of PWPA LA, we're just super excited. We want to say thank you for your time. Today is the first day here at Cypress College, so I'm sure things are, going crazy. Lots of things happening right now. I'm sure lots of emails and calls have been going around. So just thank you for taking some time to spend some time with us.
Sure.
Thank you. All right. I would like to do a formal introduction because I just want to help the audience really understand some of the work that you've been doing for our community. And JoAnna Schilling, PhD, began her career in community colleges as Dean of Arts and Cultural Programs at Rio Hondo College and went on to serve as Vice President of Academic Affairs at both Cerritos and Rio Hondo colleges. An alumni of Oregon State University and Smith College, she currently represents the Orange County Community Colleges on the statewide Community Colleges CEO Board and served on the statewide Affordability, Food and Housing Access Task Force and the Racial Equity Task Force from 2018 to 2021. Dr. Schilling joined Cypress College in 2017 as the 12th president in campus history. Under her leadership, she has led Cypress College into the Aspen Prize Top 150 U.S. Community Colleges in America and became the #1 ranked community college in California in 2018 and 2020. And in March of this year, Dr. Schilling received the award for Woman of the Year in the 67th Assembly District and was also recognized as a Woman of Distinction in the 45th Congressional District. Dr. Schilling is an exemplary leader and educator, as well as a great advocate for greater sustainability and environmentalism. In 2019, the Excellence in Energy and Sustainability Award was presented for Cypress College's chilled water thermal energy storage tank, which reduces cost and increases energy efficiency. Congratulations on those awards that you got this year.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So, we're really interested as PWP Los Angeles in sustainability, coming together as communities, trying to understand how and work together on how we can be able to protect our environment. And we want to try to put our finger on the pulse of what's happening in our communities around us. And it's kind of hard to miss, in all these headlines of Cypress College. We keep seeing it in the news, winning all these awards. And so one of the first things that I was mostly interested in learning about is you shared, you have lots of hobbies and you're involved in the community so much and you give so much. I'm really curious, what motivates you to take action in the movement for sustainability, both like in your life, but also here at Cypress? You've done a lot here.
Well, that's a big question.
Yeah.
I think that it's certainly important to me personally, and I try to live in a sustainable way in my personal life and make choices about the car I drive, which is an electric car. I do all the things that people do in our own small ways, composting and making sure that we have, my house is completely solar energy, and we do what we can in our own small way. But it's an overwhelming task, and I think all of us feel a little daunted when we think, what can I do as an individual? And so because my passion here at Cypress College is for students, you are the generation that is inheriting the earth, and you are going to have to, unfortunately, handle a lot of the damage that my generation and generations before me have done to our planet. And so that drives me to be passionate about making sure that sustainability is an important goal for our college, both to get students involved, both to educate students, both to support programs in our STEM fields that help to look for solutions, and to do as much as we possibly can here at the college to have sustainable practices. So those are the main priorities, and I also head up the sustainability committee, which we did not have before, and it's a small committee, but it's a mighty committee, and we do lots of things to try to move our policies forward at the college.
Amazing. That leads perfectly into our next question. We're really curious. We wanted to give you the opportunity to share a little bit about what are some of the projects, some of the things that are actually going on here at Cypress that are aligned with those sustainability, the mission and values in Cypress.
Yeah, I think what I have discovered in leading a college and trying to do big things at a college is that it's as daunting as it is to do in your own personal life. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes a lot of people caring, and it just takes the ability to move things forward one step at a time. So to talk about some of the things. So you mentioned the award that we got from the state for our thermal energy tank, and that was a really big initiative that we prioritized. It was completed in 2018. And this is a very large tank that you'll see on our campus. You may not know it's a water tank because we've kind of hidden it. It doesn't just look like a big water tank. It looks like it's
great.
part of the architecture. But it stores 960,000 gallons of water. And the principle behind it is that we cool the water in off-peak hours. So we use energy in the off-peak hours, which lowers our costs. But then and then we store the chilled water in that tank, and then we push it through our system. So that provides the AC. So what cools our buildings is not air conditioning. Mm-hmm. So we don't send Freon into the environment, and we don't actually use AC. But this is a big facility. So what that does is it's a very complicated process that I will not be able to explain well. But essentially, it's pushing cool air into our HV system that then cools our office spaces and our classrooms. Amazing. So that's the very short, and I'm sure other scientists listening to this will know exactly the science behind it. Yeah. But that's a very big initiative. The other thing that we have done since 2018 also is we changed our irrigation system. So you won't see sprinklers come on at Cypress College. We don't have sprinklers. We have an irrigation system that is run by satellite. So it's a little bit like the Nest in your home, where it's satellite driven. So it determines, during the last few days we've had a lot of rain, our irrigation system doesn't turn on, or the sprinklers don't come on inadvertently, which is a huge problem. And I'm sure all of you, it drives you crazy when you're walking in the rain one day and everybody has their lawn sprinklers on, right? Bad idea. So this is, it assesses the drought condition. It assesses what needs to be watered, what doesn't. So it's a huge, huge water saver for our college. And also we've made the initial investment, but over the years, we have more than received the investment back in cost savings. So it's good for our college, it's good for our facilities, and it's definitely good for the plants that we water. And the other thing we've done, of course, if you walk around the college, you'll see that we have moved to drought-resistant plants. It's not fully completed. We do still have grass. People still like their grass. But we are continuing to move towards creating pollinator gardens, so we attract bees and butterflies and other pollinators and wildlife to our campuses, to our campus, and that is good for our environment as well.
Wow, that's incredible. We'll get in this maybe a little bit later, but also the new SEM building has quite a few green characteristics to it. You've said like the plants as well. The design, I think it was, I forgot the company, but the company that made, or LPA, that designed the building, they put a lot of work into the SEM building to make it more sustainable, very green, very eco-friendly. It's really impressive, the collaboration that happened between Cypress and that company. I also read that the chilled water thermal energy system, it saves $162,000 in annual energy costs.
That's just the kilowatt energy. It also saves us in water costs. Wow. So that's an additional probably third of cost savings because we just don't use as much water. Yeah, I was looking into some of the other colleges also. It's really beautiful. There's this wave of sustainable projects that are going on in California. It's really interesting. And it was interesting to see some of the other colleges that were doing the same thing, doing some of these chilled water energy storage systems, changing the lights out, things like that. And maybe there was other projects as well, but with the chilled water thermal energy system, maybe from your perspective, from what you could see, I'm sure there was a lot of people involved in making that project come to life. What kind of collaboration, or I guess you could say collaboration can you share from your perspective that took place in order to bring the chilled water thermal energy system online? Yeah, so it's similar to our construction and our maintenance projects. So this actually was funded through a bond, so taxpayers paid and voted to pay to support this as a project. And we also, we involved our campus constituency in terms of priority, timing, but usually the way these things start is someone has a good idea, someone brings it forward, someone thinks about how it can be implemented, and then we hopefully say yes to it. So
Wow.
It was a campus collaboration, but it started with our maintenance and operations area, looking at this as something that could both be a cost-saving measure as well as really supporting our campus in a positive way.
Wow. So would you say that the idea itself, the project itself, was kind of created and then it came to your desk, or did you see it when it was more in the concept phase?
So both. So it was so all of our campus facilities projects, they usually start in an area. I don't know all of the technology or the things that we could do. And so this one was started by our maintenance and operations, and then it goes through a process of coming up through to the president and also to our project manager, construction project manager, and then we prioritize the projects. But this one, of course, rose to the top very quickly because it was an exciting project, and we're very proud that we were one of the first in the state to put this on our campus.
Wow, that's incredible, and it really is. I mean, when you're passing down the street, it's one of the things you can see when you look at kind of the face of Cypress College. It's very big, but it's very tastefully designed. It looks very nice. So it's not like you're making any compromises in terms of the aesthetics of the college when you do something like that.
Right.
That's really nice.
People think it's some wonderful view tower, right? But it's really just water.
Yeah, I walked by it all the time when I was coming here. When I was a student, I would walk by it a lot. It's really nice, and I believe it was the Proposition 39 that also helped with some of the funding for the chilled water energy storage system. So that's really nice. Just a little bit.
Good job.
Yeah, just a little bit. Before we move on, I kind of want to touch on the SEM building. Could you share a little bit about that process? Maybe the characteristics of it, but also some of the green characteristics maybe that you're aware of?
Yeah, so you already mentioned the gardens that are around the SEM building. So these are really outdoor labs, and this was our first pollinator garden. And since it's been in place since 2021, we have really noticed a rise in birds on campus and butterflies, and during certain times of the year, the bees. And so it's both used by our sciences as an outdoor laboratory. So on any given day, you might drive by and see people out there, and it's a lecture that's outdoors, and people are looking and studying at the plants that are out there. It's also an irrigation area, so during heavy rains, those areas might fill up as a small pond that attracts other kinds of wildlife, and then of course it goes back into the earth. But there's a lot of different ways that it's been designed to be different things in different seasons. So, and that is something that we plan to have a whole walkway that pulls starting from the SEM building and goes through the campus with gardens, flowers, walkways. There's like pea gravel on the ground, so it's a really nice organic walkway, and we're planning on bringing that forward throughout the college to be sort of a wayfinding pathway to get between different buildings, but to have it also be beautiful. So it both enhances the look of our campus. You know, we call this brutalist architecture, and it is kind of brutal. It's that very concrete look, but I think we've done a good job of softening it, and so we're always looking for new ways to soften it, and if we can do that and support our environment as well, then that's better for everybody. The rest of the SEM building, you mentioned LPA, that was our architect and designer. Everything has been, it's even painted to be sort of natural colors of the environment. It's very planned, meaning that we have different disciplines on different floors, but they also complement. The labs are all open air and come to the outside, so students have a lab experience, but they can also spill out into the outdoors, and professors can teach outdoors.
Beautiful.
And then you have the classrooms right across from the labs, and so it's really easy for students to traverse between their lecture portion and their lab portion. So the building has really been designed to make the most of our beautiful Southern California sunshine, the plants that are native to our Southern California area, and to make it conducive to learning.
Yeah, one of my favorite, when I was looking into the SEM building and the articles that were written about it, because it is such an amazing feat, actually. It's not just a building, it broke some records, and it actually did, not broke some records, but it surpassed some requirements also. And it's really interesting. The thing that I liked the most about it was they designed it with this inside out kind of mentality. So where it's like the classrooms are, like you said, it's like a very open concept. And some of the doors, I forgot what kind of, it's like some of the walls completely open up to the outside.
Accordion doors. Right?
Yeah, it's really beautiful. Just one of the things that I read here was that the LPA designed the energy systems for the building to meet the requirements of the 2030 challenge, which requires a 70% reduction from the baseline energy use intensity. The proposed energy use intensity of 27.4 for the SEM building will provide a 77% reduction in EUI and exceed the requirements set by 2030 challenge. So congratulations for you guys for really pioneering and doing such an amazing job, not only being green, but really pushing the boundaries as well. So hats off to Cypress and LPA for working together on that really amazing feat. That's really, really special.
Yeah, and thank you for mentioning that. All of our new buildings will be driven by that concept. So our goal is to meet and exceed any kind of regulations and opt for sustainability and to be a completely sustainable campus. We do also have plans. The only reason we haven't done this yet is because we've been under construction in so many areas. Our new VRC, our SEM building, we're now renovating our fine arts building. Next up will be our health sciences. So there's a lot of construction going on. But we have plans to be completely powered by solar energy. And so the solar panels will go in Lot 9. You, as a student here, everyone knows Lot 9. That's our big student parking lot, and it's also where our swap meet is on the weekends. So it's a big open area, which is perfect for solar panels. We'll provide a little bit of shade as well. And so the goal is within the next 3 to 4 years, we will have all of those solar panels installed, and it will drive the energy of the campus. Another thing that we're looking at is painting the roofs to be reflective, so that will also be sustainable, and it will be better for our environment. So these things, again, take time. It's never as fast as I want it to be, but when I look back that we just started doing this in 2018, even though that was 5 years ago, we've made a lot of progress, and I'm very confident in the next 5 years there will be even more progress towards our goals.
Wow. And I remember one time we were having a conversation. It was, I believe it was a temporary, it was kind of like you were making an effort to even bring the sustainability efforts into the cafeteria at one point. You said that even using more sustainable utensils and things like that. So again, it's just so amazing being able to see what's going on here at Cypress College with sustainability and being eco-friendly. And even when you walk into the campus, it's just, you feel it here at Cypress. You feel that everyone here is trying to make a difference. Everyone here is either trying to give back to the community, be more sustainable, be more eco-friendly, be more green. So we've been talking about kind of higher level from your perspective. We are really interested in what are some of the ways that students, do you think, can be involved with campus sustainability projects? So oftentimes, you said that there's like other companies that get involved, the collaboration with Cypress and the faculty and things. Do students see some action or collaboration with these kinds of things?
Yeah, that's a great question too. So through the Sustainability Committee, and we started the Sustainability Committee right before COVID. So we all know what happened. A lot of efforts and momentum was a little bit stalled just because students weren't on campus for a few years and there were challenges. So, but as of this last year, so we did a couple things. So through the Sustainability Committee, and we do have students who serve on that committee as well, we had several beach day cleanups, and we're going to continue that. That's been very popular with our students. So we set up a time. It's been Bolsa Chica Beach, that state beach that we go down, and we do a special cleanup when we partner with outside companies that are nonprofit, and they they have all of the tools and everything. And then we have a bus that goes from Cypress. So our most recent one was on Earth Day week. So it was the day after Earth Day. And we'll be doing another again this fall, and then following in the spring. It's very popular with students, very popular. So you'd go down 9 a.m., you spend a couple hours at the beach. How bad can that be?
Right,
You can
yeah.
stay if you want a little bit longer. Everybody focuses on cleaning up the beach, making sure that our beaches are clean, that, you know, the plastics that get into our water supply and that animals can swallow or get stuck on, that those are clean. So that's something that we are doing with students. We celebrate Earth Day every year. For the last 3 years, we've had a big Earth Day focus and show some kind of film that's about our environment. So one year we had a company named Agalita. They are in the Long Beach area, and they are focused on clean water and plastics in the ocean. So they were here doing a lecture, and we had an outdoor drive-in. So we had about 80 people who came to our front parking lot and had a drive-in movie to just look at, you know, the very serious issue of plastics in the ocean. The next year we did the movie Kiss the Ground, which is about capturing carbon in our earth and how we can be more sustainable with farming. We also did a field trip with students up to apricot farms because we did a movie showing of Biggest Little Farm. If you haven't seen that movie, it's amazing. It's so much fun. So I really encourage you. And it's about the development of a sustainable farm, completely sustainable farm right here in Southern California. It's up in the Ventura area. And we took a visit. They're called apricot farms. But it's an amazing story of what you can do and also how hard it is. What this group did is they took over a fallow earth that had been farmed completely out and not in a sustainable way, and they brought it back to life. And it's a really beautiful place. They have animals and birds and fruit, and this is right in our own backyard. So these are the kind of things we're trying to bring to students to make them aware of both what they can do and what it is being done.
Exactly.
But for next year, we are building, our sustainability committee is going to be even larger, and we've hired a consultant to help us become a STARS certified college. And what that is so I have to look at it. I keep saying STARS assessment. So that stands for Sustainability Tracking Assessment and Rating System. It's a quite rigorous set of outcomes that you have to reach as a college, and we want to be a STARS assessed college. So that's what we're going to be going through over the next year, and we will be involving students. And the more that we can let students know what we are doing to support them and to support not just our campus but to be STARS certified, which is really, there's metrics on every different level. I think our students will be excited and will want to be part of this.
Being able to see that your college is making a difference and then being able to be a part of that difference, I think that's really amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And for any future college, Cypress College students, look forward to those activities that are going. That's really exciting.
And if I could just mention one more thing. So
Please.
Our associated students have been very interested in having a community garden. And so we have plans already. We've already plotted it out. We know where it's going to go. It's going to be behind our baseball field. And so our students are interested in maintaining that. So that is a work in progress. We're hoping we can achieve that this year, but that students will maintain, develop, and then that will go back to our food pantry so that students can have fresh food, but it will be student produced and then hopefully student consumed as well.
Cypress is becoming a production place, right? Energy, food, that's really awesome. Okay, let's go bigger picture, Dr. Schilling. What is your vision or even hope in regard to sustainability on the district or even the state level? Kind of what, if we look down the road or look down the line, just kind of, dreaming, or even what the path that we're currently on right now, what do you see? What is your vision for sustainability in the long run?
Well, I think the long-term vision is what we're working towards now. So I mentioned solar energy. The goal would be to be completely sustainable in terms of energy. The goal would be to produce a lot of the food that we consume. Obviously, our community garden is going to feed everything, but because we have we have a thriving basic needs center with our food pantry, with our housing vouchers, with our clothing closet. These are to sustain and assist students. And the idea would be that all of this is intertwined. It's not separate from one another. And so the large-term goal is that we can be a college that walks the walk, and that we're saying that we support students in every aspect of their lives, that we're also teaching students. So if we don't demonstrate that in our business practices, in what we are serving at our college, we can't actually be encouraging students to be the future, to be the future scientists, to be the future marketers, to be the future consumers in a sustainable way. So it's all interrelated. So I believe that education, we've talked about this before, education and your vision for how you behave as a human being have to be intertwined. Otherwise, they aren't really believed. So we want to be a place where students come and feel like not only can they be educated, they feel that they can be educated well, but they also have a pathway to the future. They understand what that pathway is, and that they're surrounded by beauty and health while they're here. My job as a campus president is to make sure we have a healthy environment for our students. And that's in all aspects, right? It's mentally healthy, it's physically healthy, and that our campus is a healthy place to be.
Wow. I feel like year by year, you guys are always ratcheting up the standard for, what a college should be in the community. Okay, I think this is our final question. So do you have any advice for professors or campus representatives who want to start their own sustainability project? If you would, like other colleges, maybe even students who, might have some ideas or something here at Cypress, or even like district-wide. So do you have any advice for those people who want to start their own sustainability projects? And if you'd like, you can speak to the audience and the camera as well.
So my best advice, because this is what I have learned in the last 5-6 years, is that you start small. Don't be ambitious. Have really big dreams and really big goals, but be willing to start small. Because the way we started here is we did have a few physical projects that started gaining momentum. But our sustainability committee, we just couldn't really get it off the ground until we just said, let's just do it. And I took it upon me because I really wanted to make sure that people at the college knew that this was important to the campus leadership. And so we've been a very small group, but each year we grow, and each year we do more, and each year we create more awareness. And so I think it's really important that you don't get derailed about things not being perfect at first, or that maybe things take too long. You just do it one step at a time. So you keep your eye on the bigger picture and where you want to go, but understand that it takes time, and it takes time to get other people on board. So you embrace the people who are already with you and ready to go, and you use their energy, and you support them so that they feel energized to work with you. And then you just keep taking one step at a time. And it does happen. And when you look back in 5 years, 10 years, however long it takes, you realize, wow, you really can get things done if you just start one step at a time.
Dr. Schilling, amazing. That's all the questions that we have today. Thank you so much for your time. This is going to be so inspiring for our audience, and we look forward to sharing this with as many people as possible to try to spread the message that it is possible and we're on the right track. And we're so grateful to have leaders like yourself that we can look to be able to understand where we can go, and also be able to understand who we can talk to, who we can reach out to, and things like that. So thank you, Dr. Schilling. On behalf of PWPA Los Angeles, we're very grateful, and also on behalf of Dr. Sullivan, thank you so much for helping us out and doing this interview with us. Thank you.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure, and so proud of all the work that you do.